Welcome to the Dishes Can Wait podcast. Join us at our table for thoughtful, funny conversations that flow so easily you'll forget to check the time. We hope you feel like a welcomed guest in our home, part of a circle of friends who linger after dinner for the stories, the laughter, and the kind of connection that makes the hours slip away unnoticed. Because the dishes can wait, but good conversation can't.
I got an icebreaker for you.
Okay. Let's go.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Here's the icebreaker. Icebreaker is... So what in your life right now is like bringing you those little nuggets of joy? Like what's your like comfort joy right now?
I love that question. And I have like several things. Does it have to be one or can I give you a couple?
Yogi's choice.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is actually a really good segue into the thing that I wanted to talk about next too. But okay, but I'll end with that one. Okay, the first one is, and it just started this week, was I have a tarot deck that it has been sitting on my bookshelf and I haven't touched it because it really intimidates me because there's a lot to learn and a lot to interpret.
Right.
But I just felt called to pull it out the other day, and I was asking it questions and pulling cards, and then I was looking through my tarot books to try to interpret it, and mind blowing. Like it just, the universe.
Cool, huh?
Yeah, the universe speaking to me through that. That's given me joy.
Number two
is, so I am in, well, I'm like, I want to hear what yours is because then I'm going to say mine.
And then you're just going to keep on going.
And then I'm going to keep on going. So I want to hear your first one.
You want to hear my first one? I only have one.
You only have one source of joy right now. Got it.
I prepared one. And it was a no-brainer for me.
Okay.
It's my naps.
Your naps was on my topic of my conversation topic list was your naps, because your naps have really...
My naps have been amazing, right? Like I think that I, in my life, would have always loved naps, but I had to like get it to the perfect conditions, right? Conditions had to be perfect for it.
Conditions had to be perfect.
They did, and I have it down, right? I have it down. I have how long I set the timer for. I have the angle that I sleep. I have my little nap blanket, which is also your closet blanket. It's a multi-purpose blanket.
You just said closet blanket. And no one knows what you're talking about.
That's okay. You go in the closet and you have higher power conversations with the universe.
I need to meditate. Like, okay, if you meditate, or if you do any sort of meditations on YouTube, your body is super still.
True.
You get your body into a state. And I don't want to be interrupted. Like, even by the jostling of the bed when you get out of it, if I'm doing that, like, it jolts me out and I hate that feeling. And so I will go lay on the floor in the closet with a pillow and a blanket.
My nap blanket.
With your nap blanket. It's also my closet blanket.
I mean, that blanket serves so many joyful purposes.
It's true.
What a beautiful blanket.
Let's talk about where we got that blanket from. This is so ridiculous.
That blanket, oh my word. That is when I was working at BetterHelp. To get a few pennies for my sessions.
Because Aaron's a therapist. I don't know if we've...
I am. I'm an LPC licensed professional counselor in the state of Texas. And at my year anniversary, I got to choose a gift. And I chose a blanket.
You got a blanket. Yeah. Also, now we're going on a whole slippery slope about blankets. Whenever we...
We had a blanket phase. We're bringing the blanket phase back. I think that's what we're doing.
We would go to white elephant parties at Christmas time, and we would always buy a blanket because if all else fails, we'll just try to get our own gift. Which is a blanket.
Do you remember that white elephant that we both got?
That was the best Christmas ever.
We both had like those little throw blankets. That's what these are. These are not like comforter blankets. These are like the ones that are like 4 foot long.
Yeah, like tiny little throw blankets. There's just something about collecting those that's a dopamine hit for us.
And so that BetterHelp blanket, and I cozy up at my little weird angle that I lay sideways across the bed.
Well, the thing is, you can't just lay horizontal. You have to be on an incline or else you'll hit REM.
I don't
And
want to hit REM.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to hit REM. That's what I'm saying. I've got it down to a science. I don't want to hit REM because if I hit REM, then it's like a deep, heavy sleep.
hmm
And then I wake up way more tired than I was, like so exhausted. And so what I do is I get like at an angle, right? Like my feet are almost hanging off the bed. My head is at the center of the bed. So I'm just like,
hmm
what angle is that? I don't know.
I
Geometry's not
don't
my
know. That's
thing.
fine.
And I have several pillows there, not under the covers, just on top of the covers, on top of our comforter
hmm
with my little BetterHelp blanket. My arms crossed like they are right now.
Like
It's been
Lily Munster
That's
goes to
exactly
sleep
right. Like it's my corpse
like
pose.
this.
It's my corpse pose. And yeah, I just doze. I usually set the timer for an hour and 5 minutes. It's very specific because I think, okay, I'll have maybe an hour nap, but I probably wake up 8 times in that hour and 5 minutes. And every 5 to 8 minutes when I wake up, I feel like I've been sleeping a long time. So it's like I jolted awake and I'm like, oh, I still got 53 minutes. Amazing. They're the best.
Yeah,
They're the
that
best
feeling like I
naps.
don't like waking up in the morning right when it's time to wake up.
Right.
I want to wake up at least an hour before I need to get up, maybe to go to the bathroom, because then I'm like, sweet, I have an hour left.
Yeah, it's like the same reason that, see, I don't like it at bedtime. Like at bedtime, if I wake up to go to the bathroom or something, I only have an hour, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not gonna be able to hit REM,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it's the exact opposite for me. So naps, I'm like, I want to keep waking up. Bedtime, I don't want to wake up at all.
Yeah,
If I wake up in the middle of the night, I want it to be like 2 in the morning, not 6 in the morning.
no, that's true. And I think a REM cycle, I saw this
It's
recently,
three,
is
right?
I saw it was an hour and about an hour and a half.
Ooh, conflicting info.
I know. So I need to do a deeper dive of research on this, but
Yeah,
there is something to getting a full REM cycle
for sure.
to
And I
make
don't
you
want
feel
that for a nap.
rested. Do what?
I don't want that for a nap, right?
No,
I just want
right.
those little quick naps, those little cat naps. And I'm jolted awake just like a cat. So they're amazing. That's what's bringing me joy. You had
Great.
a second one you wanted to
I
bring?
do have a second. My
Number two, joy.
my next joy. So I am in this spiritual mentorship group, and every month we have like a monthly teaching and a ritual practice that we do communally, and then there's 2 Q&A sessions. It feels kind of like group therapy, like spiritual group therapy. It's really sweet and beautiful. Anyway, so in this group, she suggested this practice. She called it a day in the higher self, or a day in your higher self. And there's a couple of things you could do, like waking up in the morning and just tapping in and asking your higher self, like, what's on the agenda today?
It's like setting the intentions for the day.
Yeah. And your higher self, super quick definition is the highest version of you. Like you're operating in the highest aspect of your soul self.
Sorry, I'm remembering last night's conversation. Last night when we were talking, I was like, you're in your lower vibrations right now. I was like,
Shut up, Aaron. No, I'm not.
I was like, check in with your higher vibrations, check in with your higher self.
What a low blow. You're in your lower vibration. I was a little bit. It's fine. So she suggested a day in your higher self. So things like you wake up, check in with your higher self. Hey, what's on the agenda today? My favorite suggestions have been like, okay, higher self, what are we wearing today? Going into the closet and asking this higher version of myself what I should wear today. But my absolute favorite is making a higher self playlist, because I love a playlist. I love putting together a playlist. There's something about picking the songs and then arranging the songs and to create like a certain vibe and a certain energy. Oh, like I'm
You're getting excited
I'm
right
getting
now.
excited just
You're like,
talking
let's
about
push
it.
play.
Right here. I'm going to go. I actually did this with Aaron. I went through the entire playlist. Well, I didn't get through the entire thing because he was like, hey, I love you, but are we going to go through all 30 songs? But I went through a lot of it and was like, and this is the reason I picked this song at this point in the playlist, because it builds on the next song. Let's listen to the next song. Anyway, so
If you listened straight through your morning playlist, it's going to take you into lunchtime.
exactly. Exactly. So that has been a big joy for me, is first of all, putting together that playlist and then listening to it every morning because, and this, I end up, depends on the day, I will listen to a song on loop. Like, I won't get sick of it. I will just play it over and over and over again. And the song on that playlist that I have been vibing so hard with is from the Cher Show.
Yes.
And it is Stephanie J. Block singing
If I could turn back time.
because not, and when I gave Aaron a tour of this playlist and I played this song for him, he was like, why did you pick that song? Because the lyrics are kind of sad. And I was like, it's not about the lyrics.
It's about the vibe.
Let me tell you what it's about. I have heard Stephanie J. Block talk about her experience playing Cher. And they asked her like 5 times to be a part of this project. And she kept turning it down. She's like, I'm not your girl. And
I'm not that girl.
which is
Right?
so ironic because she also played Elphaba.
That was so good.
I loved that.
Look at that, bringing that back. Look at that, do that.
So she was just like, I'm not your girl. She was saying Cher's such an electric, and I'm paraphrasing her, of course, but Cher's such an electric energy and personality. And she's like, it's so big. And she didn't know how she would do it. But then she went through the process and embodied Cher. And she was saying in her embodiment of Cher, she was able to tap into into Stephanie's own power. And like she grew as a person by playing this person. And that's what the vibe is about. I'm listening to Stephanie play Cher, I'm doing the same thing that Stephanie did with Cher. And I am like embodying like my own sort of like tapping into my own higher self and my own power through all that. So that's what's giving me joy.
And then 3 days later, maybe 2 days later, you're like, hey, have I shared with you my morning playlist?
Because I'm so excited about it.
Like you literally
it makes
played
me
like all
so
of the songs.
happy. We didn't do the second half, so we'll have to do the second half soon.
The second track. Right?
Yeah.
Side B.
Yes.
For our older crowd.
There's some millennials, some Jimmy Eat World, some I don't remember. We'll have to. I don't.
Song 1. What's song 1? What's song 1 to like get this party started?
I just rearranged it today.
What?
I did, and I put "If I Could Turn Back Time" at the very top
Yeah, you
because
did.
that was number 4. Now it's number 1. Number 2 is "Unwritten" by Natasha Bedingfield, but it's an acoustic version because I love it because she does more
Stripped
riffs.
down version. Yeah.
Yeah, but she does more riffs than she does in like the album or radio version. And then it's Jimmy Eat World. It just takes some time. Little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. I mean, I won't go through all of it, but then it's This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. And then it was Turn Back Time. And then it's Martina McBride. This is for all you girls about 13. And then it goes through high school could be so rough, could be so mean. Hold on. I could keep going. I don't have to give the whole playlist, but there you go. That's a taste. That's a taste of
You're already feeling awake.
I am.
Like, man, I was dead asleep and now I'm awake.
It feels so good in my body and in my brain, and it really sets the course for the day.
Praise be. So last night,
Yeah,
we're having like our pre-podcast planning episode / meeting. And you and I were realizing, which we already knew, but we were like really appreciating how different we are in wanting to plan episodes, right? Yeah. You are the person who wants, 14-point PowerPoint, all of the talking points.
I could basically write a script.
Yeah, exactly. You're almost like a political figure or somebody giving a speech, and you want the speech written ahead of time, and I don't. Right? We were talking about maybe asking each other some questions. We were going to pull some questions from a hat, and you said maybe a literal hat, but maybe just a metaphorical hat. But you were saying like, hey, do you want to know what some of the questions are possible that I could ask you?
Do you want to know the pool of questions?
And I said, absolutely not.
And I'm like, why not? Why wouldn't you want to know? Like that way you can at least have it in the very back of your mind as you're, driving somewhere. You're like,
like my
let's think
skin
about
is
that pool of
crawling
questions and how I would answer that.
About that right now. Like, no, that feels so wrong.
But okay, there's a deeper thing here. I know for me, I'll speak for myself, is
Your higher self.
yes, I'll speak from my higher self. It's a form of perfectionism and afraid of it's a level of vulnerability of not being 100% prepared. Feels very vulnerable to me.
Right.
Even though I am grounded in who I am and I know that like I could answer these questions. I don't even know the right word to use. Well, or I
Yeah, yeah.
like
In the moment, you
or
could crush
in
it.
the moment I could give something of value or I could answer honestly. I think there's like my release of control and perfectionism is the work for me in that.
Do you think some of it for you is also like, if it happened in the moment, that it would be maybe something left out, like it was incomplete?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Like, when you leave a conversation, like maybe someone insulted you and you're like, "Oh, oh yeah." And then they leave and you're like have the sickest burn. You're like, "Oh man, that
Oh,
would have been
such a
so
good
good."
one.
It's kind of that vibe.
Well, yeah, I mean, plus you're an internal processor,
Very much so.
right? So you'll process a question for, 3 weeks,
Yeah.
where I'm not.
And what will probably happen, I'm just setting
Post show.
expectation, is we will answer a question one
And then you'll
episode.
have a different
5
answer
episodes later, I will come back and be like, "You remember that question that you asked
that
5
you've been
episodes
thinking
before?
about ever
I
since then.
have a new perspective that I want to share." That's gonna be me, just preparing you and
Just
everybody else.
preparing. Yeah, and I like to just be in the moment and process it out loud. And that's what I do, right? So for you, that's the deeper meaning for you. For
Hmm.
me, if you were to ask me a question, then it becomes performative.
Yeah.
And so I would come up with maybe even the exact way to say it, the wording for it. And yeah, I'm better in the moment than I am like performative and having, I don't want, like, even if like somebody were to interview me or something like that about therapy, I don't want the questions ahead of time. Now, but at the same time, what that will also inevitably do is I'll put my foot in my mouth at some point, because I'll say something and go, wait a minute, that's not exactly right. Like my process is messy out loud. Your process
Yeah.
is messy too.
It's
Just
just
nobody
inside.
knows it.
Nobody knows my process.
Nobody knows it. So I will more often put my foot in my mouth. And
Yeah.
you will not as often, but you may 5 days later come back and change your
And
sentence.
I think that's a very brave thing for you to do. Also, one of the things that you were saying was
I mean, I
your
appreciate
best
you saying
self.
that. Hold on. I appreciate you saying that. I don't know if it's necessarily brave for me. I appreciate that. I think I have learned this about myself after putting my foot in my mouth so many times. Like, because early on, especially early on in our relationship, I would say something and you go, but you said this. And I go, yeah, but that's not what I meant. What I meant was, and you'd
Hmm.
be like, I don't understand. Right. So I appreciate that. I think I've just come to a deeper sense of myself and recognizing that's how I operate and
Yeah.
work. So it's not necessarily brave. It's more of default
Well,
that I'm accepting
I
now.
like what you did say last night is that your best self is when you're most present in the moment. And like even as a therapist with your clients,
Mhm.
that it takes a lot of intention to be present and that you operate as your highest self, like when you are most present in the moment.
It's true.
So,
Yeah. So
and that's brave.
okay, look at that
But
reframing. Look at that cognitive reframing. That's true. That is very true. Which is why if I had a pre-scripted version of the questions, I would be in my head about it
yeah.
and not in my soul self.
Mm.
I'd be in a lower vibration, because then I would challenge what you're talking about. Then I'd go, well, I need it to be the right answer,
Mm.
as opposed to just going, what is my natural answer to the question?
I think mine is also about like being known because I feel, I mean, we'll talk Enneagram over the course of all this, but as an Enneagram 4, I have a deep desire to be known, but the catch 22 is, but you can never really know the depths
Right.
of me. And so I want to
Because it just keeps going
it
deeper
keeps
and deeper and
right.
deeper.
And so it's like it's this desire to express something so profound that you get to know the deepest parts of me, but also you could never know the deepest parts of me. And so I don't know. There's just a lot of tension I live with
Right.
in
You're like,
my
take the dive
life.
with me, but also knowing that it's never going to be fully
Yeah.
known.
Yeah.
But it's also part of that tension for you that like you can be known, and maybe even if people can't fully know you, they still know you.
Yeah. Right. Because then it becomes like a victim mentality and like you're always dissatisfied if you're like, but you're not getting it when you've
Never going to be satisfied.
no, we know that you bait me. I almost did it.
You totally
I
did.
did.
Don't say I almost did.
Stopped
Never going to be
myself.
satisfied. Well, I almost went there.
I stopped
I
myself.
almost went there. That was so close. I almost started singing. I almost went
Whoopsie.
there, but I caught
I
myself.
caught myself.
I didn't finish the lyric.
No, yeah, I think it's lots of thoughts about that, but
Do you want to do one of the questions?
I do.
Do you want to bust out with one of them? Shuffle them up.
I have not put them in a hat yet.
How do we shuffle them? Because you have them written down, right?
I do have them written down. I
Well,
will
let's
just
talk about that
point.
process, right? So I want to share your process. So we have conversations like this all the time at the dinner table when we have people over. We have like decks of cards that are literally sitting on our kitchen table.
They stay on the lazy Susan in the middle of the table.
Exactly, which our child called a
Roly-poly.
roly-poly for a long time. Right?
it's
I
so
loved
cute.
it so much. Okay, so we have decks of
It was
cards.
when it was like a woly-poly. A
Roly-poly.
woly-poly.
So we have these decks of cards, and we thought it sounded like a good idea. Let's do that. Let's do just like we would at a dinner table. But your process for that was, nope, I don't want to keep that deck of cards here because
We need to keep it on the dinner
it
table.
needs to
for
stay on the dinner table.
Conversations with people and with each other.
So what did you do, babe?
Went through the deck of cards and I pulled my favorite questions and then I typed them all out into a podcast question bank.
So cards that were already created, you created again, as opposed to just rotating them back and forth.
Also, we have several different decks and they're all different shapes and I didn't want them to get all mixed together. So
It would have been a tragedy.
it would have been a tragedy, which is our weird way of saying a tragedy.
It's not weird.
Our
It's totally weird.
unique way.
A
Our
tragedy.
interesting way. That's the vague descriptor you give. Oh, that's so interesting.
Interesting.
Our interesting way of doing that. Okay, so I'm
Okay,
just gonna.
how many questions are there? No, I got this. How many questions are there? I know which one we're going to ask.
How many questions
numbered?
there? No, they are not numbered.
Okay. Let's go with question 7. You're going to have to count down to question 7.
Do you want?
Nope, I want question 7.
Aaron's got
Question
his
7.
eyes closed,
Question 7.
waiting.
Question
to
7
be
is-
delivered the question.
Question 7
Okay.
is the one that we're supposed
Okay.
to go with.
1, 2,
Let's check in
3,
with my
4, 5,
vibrations.
6, 7.
This is the one.
Okay, and we'll ask each other this question.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to ask it first since I don't have it with
I
me.
understand how the process works.
I'm ready for the question.
Okay, what was your first impression of me?
Look at that. See, that's a great question. I felt that one in my guttural spirit. I mean, this takes us back.
How long? How long ago?
This takes us back almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
August will be 20 years ago that I met you.
It feels like forever ago, but also just yesterday.
Is that correct? The numbers that I just did? I'm pretty sure
It
that's
was
correct.
2005.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be 20 years. My first impression of you. Well, the reason that takes us back is because that was a different state of our life, in a different
Yes.
stage of our life.
Yes.
But my first impression, we met in a class called Voice and Diction. We do not call it VD because that is a venereal disease. So we met
We met in VD.
We met in VD. We met in a class called Voice and Diction, which
Mhm.
is where you learn the phonetic ways of speaking and writing.
Because I was a theater major.
You were a theater major, and I was a voice major at the time. And this was a class that was required for theater majors and strongly recommended for voice majors. And I was the only voice major student to sign up for the class. In one of our first assignments, so the first couple of days, I don't have any recollection of you. I didn't know anybody. But our first assignment was to read something. We had to bring a prepared statement to read. I think it was several minutes. I don't remember how long it was. Let's say 3 to 5 minutes, something like that. And we had to read something. And they were going to record us to see how we spoke, right? To get our natural patterns of voice and
Which
diction.
I would like this was in the ancient days before like the ability to record video or audio on our phones, and so hearing your voice wasn't a very
Common. That's
common
true. It
thing.
was very uncommon.
And so that's why it's like when I eventually heard myself, I was shocked.
So sorry.
Shocked at how southern I sounded.
Yeah, this is like back right after Alexander Graham Bell.
And Thomas Edison were arguing whether we should answer the phone with hello or ahoy.
Ahoy, matey. So I did
That
mine.
was a very niche reference. I'm kind of proud of it.
So good. It was so good. So I did mine, which was, do you remember what mine was?
Yours Elmo Saves Christmas.
It was not.
But you did do something with Elmo Saves Christmas.
I did not do Elmo Saves Christmas.
I have a very vivid memory of you reading Elmo Saves Christmas
That was like with
on
our children.
the Slocum stage.
That's possible. That's not a vivid memory for me, but I don't feel like it was at that. So
Okay.
what it was Jonah of Veggie Tales. That is what I read.
Okay.
The book of it, because I strongly recall going, I'm coming, traveling buddy. As the little dude is shot through the cannon. I said, I'm coming, traveling buddy. And so, back to the question, my first impression of you were reading from the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You read from the love chapter of the Bible, the love chapter. And so my first impression, it's still the exact same phrase. As I said, there's something special, something different about this girl. I probably should have said lady, but that's not
I
the
mean, I
framing.
was 18.
This girl.
Yeah.
That was
and
my
the
first impression of
reason
you.
I read from the Bible was because I completely forgot about the assignment and had a Bible in my backpack. And I was like, I can't read from our textbook because then it's obvious that I forgot about this assignment. But I carried my Bible around with me. And so, but I also, I remember my thought process was like, okay, I don't want it to be too preachy. I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to evangelize here. They read 1 Corinthians 13 at weddings. Like
Many
it's a very,
weddings.
yeah, even probably secular weddings. It's like fun.
Knowledge.
So that's why I read that.
So that was my first impression of you. Is like, there's something about this girl. I'd love to get to know her. And
Yeah. So my first impression of you was in the same class.
you're like, who is this grandpa?
I did think Aaron was in his 40s when I first met him. How old were you? I'm sorry.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
I had just turned 21.
Really?
And why did you
sorry.
think that?
Because you were already balding, love. I'm sorry.
Feelings are happening.
I'm sorry. But that wasn't like the main first impression of you. I just
Yes,
like,
it was.
well,
This guy's
it was
old.
just because I didn't know you. And as theater majors, we were all
Had
we'd
a
already,
midlife crisis and going back to school.
that,
Kind of.
like you were
kinda-
youthful. But
It's youthful.
like you were like a paradox. You had like this youthfulness to you, but your hairline told me something different.
This baby face and baby head. Same. My hairline told you something different. My hairline told a story.
And so, but I knew everyone except you because like it's theater majors. We had already been we were in classes together because we were all taking the same classes. We were doing production together, and there was you, and I was like, oh, I don't know this guy. And then there was another person who like took another theater class, but she wasn't like a major, and she was also like doing professional acting around town. And y'all kind of clicked and hit it off, and I thought that y'all were together.
And do you remember why
I
that
thought
is?
y'all were dating because you didn't know anybody. She didn't really know anybody, so y'all were like, we won't know anybody together.
That is incorrect. That's a great guess. The reason is because she just happened to sit next to me.
Oh, that's the way. Yeah, that's
And
how it
so it
works.
was the only person sitting next to me at that moment. Like there,
Gotcha.
like remember, if you remember, a lot of our classes were in the theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we're like sitting in the rows of the theater for our class, for most of
Mm-hmm.
our classes. And she just happened to sit fairly close to me. And so she was the only person I really could talk to.
And that gave me the impression for the entire semester that y'all were dating. But also, you were super friendly. I knew that you were super friendly. I also want to have this disclaimer that I had a very negative view of men and boys in general from a lot of purity culture and in the home I grew up with. And so you've always been a super friendly person, and I have always, not always, used to. I don't know. Would you see? This is where we could get.
Deep dive.
This is
Like, so let's
no.
ask
I
this.
am way better now at giving the benefit of the doubt, but I still have my guard up
Right. But
with
as a 18-year old,
18-year-old.
as an 18-year-old baby, would you have considered a really friendly old man a positive thing or a threat?
It was a threat.
Yeah.
It like I felt like you had ulterior motives.
Right.
So yeah, you were friendly, which I misconstrued as
Protective.
flirty.
Yeah, you were protective. Yeah, you thought I flirted with a lot of people.
Yeah. So but I also had my guard up a whole lot at that point
Understandable.
in my life because of a lot of
Well, and just
wounds
because
and trauma.
you thought that I was flirting with people and overly friendly doesn't mean that I was. So
Right.
right.
Exactly.
So you don't
That's
have
what
to
it was.
like protect me in this moment right now. I appreciate that. But you don't have to protect me. We're talking about kind of your schemas at that time. That would have been a dangerous threat, which makes sense. Like, right? Like we don't want to gaslight yourself at that
Yeah.
young version of yourself. Like your default should have been to have your guard up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like if people like me represented pain, then why in the world would you lower your guard without just default? You wouldn't. That
Yeah.
would take time and that would take relationship and intentionality and go, oh, I can lower my guard down. So it makes sense that that was the default,
Yeah.
was to view this
Which
person.
is like there's this balance like in this moment, right, of my past, like honoring my past self because that's what she knew, and she didn't have any. That's what she did to keep herself safe.
Right.
So I honor that in her, but also I want to protect you because you are a man of integrity and an incredible person. So I just didn't want to give the wrong impression. So
get that.
both of those things.
So here's what we just learned,
Yes.
right? So what I learned is our first impression of each other, right? I go, wow, there's something really special and really different about this girl. And her first impression is like, he's the same as every other guy. And that makes sense based off of your history and everything like that.
Yeah. I wonder.
Little did she know that I was not
No.
like every other guy.
No, you are not at all.
Stay tuned for question 2 for the follow-up.
Next week. Next episode. You'll pick a number again, or I'll put these questions in a hat and we'll pull it.
Right.
But I do like the number thing. That was fun.
Yeah, it was good, right?
Except if you're like, okay, number 122. Okay, we're gonna be a second while I count.
Oh,
Or
are there
I'll
that
number
many
them.
questions on there? I was thinking
there's
less
probably-
than 20.
No.
I was going to go with a low number.
We have a community pool size worth of questions.
And now I and everyone else is also appreciating and endeared to you that you wrote down 14,000 questions.
I typed them all out.
Because these aren't copy and pastable. Like,
No.
you had to, these are cards. Like, you didn't like Xerox them. Man, Xerox.
Oh my God.
Old school. That's another one we need to ask our kids. What is Xerox?
That took me back to like my high school job and like making copies. I can smell it.
See, I am an old man.
You
I
said
am
the
an old man.
Xerox.
It's not like you scanned it in. That's not right either.
No, I typed
What is
in.
the word that I'm trying to communicate? That is
It's
right,
not
though.
like I copied and pasted it from a separate thing. I typed them all out.
Yeah, but that's not what I meant. I meant like actual having. I didn't mean Xerox. That you had the actual card on your computer.
And I organized
then
them
you copied
on the
and
scanner,
pasted it, right?
and then I put the lid down, and then it came out,
Put
and then
your
I
10
cut
cents
the
in.
cards out like a craft project, and then I put them in a hat. No.
Nope, didn't happen.
No,
you manually typed all of these. You didn't even use voice to text. You manually typed all of these
Because there's also something satisfying about
on a
typing.
typewriter. You did it on a typewriter just in case you made a mistake. You had to like delete it all.
Children, the way we used to have to type things didn't happen on a computer. You did it on a typewriter, and you could not mess up.
Nope.
Okay, we don't have to educate the youth
They can Google it.
on ancient ways of
They know what the
communication.
Google is.
Well, this has been lovely. Thanks for sitting here chatting with me.
Of course.
I love chatting with you. I love just sitting and talking with you.
It is by far my favorite thing to do is to chat with you.
Ditto, kiddo. We want to hear from listeners. As head over to the Substack post and tell us what you thought about today's episode.
What's bringing them joy?
Yeah, tell us what's bringing you joy. Also, we're loading them up with questions. What's on your higher self playlist? What are some of your top songs that you would put on there to?
Yeah, would put on. Most people don't have a higher
Yeah,
self
most
playlist.
people aren't gonna.
But if you were to,
Yes.
if you're going to, what would it be?
Yeah, what songs would you put on there? And also, I'll take them as suggestions because
Faux show. Because you can never have enough.
right,
Totes my goats.
totes my goats. Thank you so much for being here and listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, follow the show and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify so you never miss an episode. You can also join the conversation and subscribe to our Substack or follow us on social media. You can find all those links and everything we're up to at thedishescanwait.com. We'll see you next time on the Dishes Can Wait podcast.